Alright, it's time to cover various pieces of news for the Bravely slash Octopath slash Team Asano community in general, and answer a few questions from you guys, since it's been a while since I did that. There's a couple of different things that have happened so far this year that aren't particularly worth their own individual videos, so here's this one. We'll get the big one out of the way first. Octopath Traveler 2 is coming out in just a few days, and I've heard it's been getting some pretty positive reviews so far. Granted, that always seems to be the case, but still, it makes it look promising. Which leads us to our first viewer question, since I feel like people would want to know the answer. Will you be playing Octopath 2? And if yes, will you be streaming it? Short answer, I'm not sure. Long answer, if you have seen my review of the first Octopath, you probably know that I have a very love-hate relationship with that game, very strong opinions in both directions. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend checking it out, because I do not have the time to go over everything I feel about that game in a brief summary. That all said, I'm not entirely turned off from the idea of playing Octopath 2. Considering how much Division 11 content I cover, it would honestly be irresponsible of me not to play it for the channel. I'm just dubious about playing a game that is going to take about 100 hours to finish and being unsure if I'm going to enjoy that time spent. I'm leaning more towards yes for playing it, but I will say it right now, it will not be on launch, and it will not be 2.5 years later. If I play it, it will be within a reasonable amount of time, and I don't think I would stream it unless you guys at home would really want to see that. So if that's the case, make it known down in the comments below. Plus, I'm still working on a review for the mobile Octopath game right now, so if you are interested in that, stay tuned and make sure to subscribe. Speaking of, Champions of the Continent just had its half-year anniversary. Very happy for them. At least they seem to be on better track for lasting longer than Brilliant Lights, at least, which is closing down at the end of this month in Japan. But, as promised, the devs have already released an archive for us, which I will link in the description. I'm very glad we have that at least, and I'll likely be making a plot analysis video on that in the near future. Also, I pulled on the banner in Octopath Mobile, and I got my boy Ulbrich, so that was pretty sick. In other news, Various Daylife is now available on mobile, outside of the Apple Arcade, for purchase. And yes, it's still like $30. Yeah, I know, everyone is losing their minds over this announcement. Being real for a minute, this is the way it should have been from the start, albeit not for such a hefty price tag, in my opinion. Putting the game in the Apple Arcade just killed it on launch, and now no one's interested because they're charging so much for a mobile game. Either way, if you wanted to play it in its original form, now you can. I have a review of my time with the game if that interests you. And before we get to the last main topic, let's answer another question. Do we have any information on when the BD2 Design Works is getting an English translation? I'm assuming this is referring to the Bravely Default 2 art book, and no, I don't know anything myself. I hope that it gets translated sooner rather than later, as it's the only one of the major art books that I'm missing. And our last bit of news comes from something within the Bravely community, or rather from someone. You know 3DS themes? Those things you can use to change the design and style of your 3DS main menu screen? Well, there were a handful of Bravely themes that were Japanese exclusive as far as I could tell. Once again, NA misses out. Big sad. Well, just a few weeks ago, an absolute saint has risen up within the community. Violent Zoroark on Twitter announced that he had found all these old themes and released them to the public as a way of archiving them for us all. There's one for Bravely Default, another for Bravely Second, and a third for a Bravely Second Ask Anya's theme. Now, you do need a modded 3DS to use them, and I'm not saying you should or shouldn't mod your 3DS. I'm just relaying the news to the rest of you that a piece of Bravely history has been found and now can be preserved. That is all. And I suppose we'll wrap this video up with our last question. Any ideas for new things to stream? So for those unaware, I stream here on YouTube. You can join my Discord or follow me on Twitter to know when I'm going live. The last little while I've been playing through Genshin Impact, but I have lots of games I plan to play once I actually repair my PC. I can play through Bravely Default 2 again with all of you. I've got Sekiro and Elden Ring, there's Trails in the Sky, DMC 5, and a whole bunch of other stuff I want to do. And that is the end of this video. I hope there was something you got out of it, be it some piece of news or just enjoyment. Regardless, if you liked the video, please remember to like and subscribe for more content in the future, and feel free to leave more questions below if you have any. Thank you very much for watching, have a good one, and I'll see you soon.